Which players do you think in the very, very short window of time do you think had their stock rise from this camp? There might not have been many, but there were a few.
I mean, I think McGlynn's stock rises. I mean, I think that's the obvious one, right? Your sole goal scorer across the two friendlies. I think his stock's been rising just in general anyway with his time in Houston. I think he's really starting to make a more of a name for himself. I know he was kind of always known as like up and coming in Philly, but now it feels like he's starting to like hit that potential that people were talking about for him. So I think his stock has risen, but I don't think he's like in the conversation for World Cup roster necessarily. I think someone like Diego Luna is still growing his stock. Um, I don't think he really necessarily did anything wrong to hurt his stock here. But again, another guy that I don't think is necessarily going to be in the picture for the World Cup, but guys that I think are starting to make themselves, make it a tougher decision for Poch to leave them out, to kind of have them on maybe the outside of a World Cup roster rotational spot looking in. I'll go with if I'm going to pick someone that I think has a good shot to make the roster, I'll go with Malik Tillman. I think he's had good seasons at PSV. I don't think he really did anything wrong here to lose any stature for him. I think he has a pretty good chance at making the team, even if he's not necessarily a starter. So I think, a decent game from him against Turkey probably keeps him in the conversation for that rotational spot in the World Cup roster.
Yeah, I think there are a few players here. I think you hit on a couple of them. A shout out to Chris Richards. He's the only guy I think most people, including myself, trust as a center back right now. He was great against Turkey. Didn't play against Switzerland, but he was. I mean, the reason Turkey was as close as it was because Chris Richards was there. Lock-in starter for the World Cup, no question about it. Staying in the back, even out of his best role, Alex Freeman looks solid. I mean, he went up against one of the most promising wingers in European football against Turkey and didn't give an inch. Super, super impressive. I'd like to see him get forward a bit more, but not complaining about it. Malik Tillman, best performance in the U.S. shirt to date. Still think he needs to step up with the first team, but breath of fresh air to see that. Diego Luna, I agree. I disagree with you saying that he might not be a lock in. I think he's a lock for the World Cup team. Whether he gets time or not, don't know, but I think he's there over right now over a guy like Brendan Aronson, who, I mean, again, I think it's tough to take stock out of that Switzerland game because they were all so bad. But right now, I'm taking Dale Luna over Brendan Aronson.
I just want to, before you keep going, I just want to clarify that I would prefer Luna over Aronson, but I just think that they really like Aronson, and probably understandably. I mean, he's a hard worker, and I think that's just like an easy pick for a lot of coaches. But I think they're gonna go with Aronson over Luna, but I feel like I would prefer Luna.
I don't know. Poch likes Luna, man. I listened to his chat with Landon Donovan and Tim Howard, and he likes Diego Luna, so I think he's there.
I mean, I
Um,
hope I'm wrong. I do.
Me too, and you usually are, so we're in good shape there. Um, John Tolkien didn't get a lot of time, but I thought he looked good when he was in that role. I enjoyed watching him play there. It was good to see him play again. It's been quite a minute. And then maybe my more controversial one. I think Max Arsenal's stock went up, but with a caveat. When he was going forward against Turkey, it was really nice to see. That's how I'm going to phrase that. His ability to go forward, he doesn't have the end product yet. That's very, very clear. He's still missing that last little bit but for his age and the style that he plays, I think his upside going forward is super, super high. The problem is that they used him as a pure left back against Switzerland, and he got ruined. I mean, every diagonal got hit over his head, and he couldn't deal with it. Every time he got one on one, standing up a guy 1v1, he got burned. Like he's just not a defender. If I see him in this group, in the group, I don't know if 2026 is for him, but if he's going to make this group in the near future, it's not as a left back. It's going to be as a wing player. It's going to be as a wide player. He looked like he had bits of promise going forward. Very nice on the ball, good runs, good decision making. Just missing that final product. Defensively, he was a nightmare. So long as they're not planning on using him long term as a left back, I think his stock went up. If they're planning on using him as pure left back, straight through the floor. And speaking of
Yeah.
players whose stocks went down, do you have anybody for that list? Because I've got seven of them.
I mean, you could probably say almost everybody, honestly. I hate to say it because I was very optimistic for him. going into the season, but I think Patrick Ajimong, I think his stock went a little bit down here. I think he had a very good start with USMNT, and I think I let that kind of corrupt my brain a little bit into thinking that he was going to continue that hot streak, and I think his stock definitely took a little bit of a hit here. If he, I think he was an outsider going in with a World Cup shot here, but I think he probably doesn't have that anymore. Listen, I don't think the next guy, I don't think necessarily hurt. I think he probably still makes the World Cup roster, but I think inevitably you have to say that Johnny Stock got hurt here. I mean, that just the Turkey game alone, like even if you're just talking optically, like it was just a really bad look. Like it was a really, really poor game. And to be honest with you, it's not uncommon for him in a USMNT shirt. Like, sure, he could be a great club player, but when he puts the USMNT shirt on, he's not alone in this. There's other players too. It's just like a different player out there. Like he just, I'm sure you have plenty to say about this because I remember you've like made plenty of comments about Johnny before, but he just makes a lot of like stupid mistakes, and like those stupid mistakes are so killer for teams a lot of the times, and we really just can't be making those. Um, so I'd probably, I mean, listen, you could make a huge list of people that probably had their stock hurt, but I'll focus on those two.
Yeah, well, let me get going then because
That should be good.
this entire window outside of the 4 or 5 players we talked about beforehand, pretty much all stock down, which is not a good look going into the World Cup, right? We're gonna start way in the
Yeah.
back. Matt Turner, you're done. Out you go. He's got to get playing time. I know Leon is looking to buy in, but is he going to play there either? I have no idea. Not every goal was his fault, but there are goals that I think he should have saved and goals that he shouldn't have conceded, right? The rebound that he gave up for the third goal against Switzerland was something that if I saw a JV player make, I would have pulled them out of the game. I mean, it's a simple collapse to your left. Your parry just needs to go continue the path of the ball. It doesn't need to go anywhere else except this way. And he put it directly back in the path of the goal. He let it sit right on the 6 yard line, and they just tapped it home. And it's like, you can't do that at the national team level. Secondly, Nathan Harriel, you're done. So far out of your element. He can go home today, and I'm not upset about it. Right? I know he was hurt with Philly. I know he's still getting back into it. I know he was a reserve call up. Right? He got called up because other people got hurt. There are 3 right backs in MLS right now I would have taken over him. It just heck, I would have gone Kyle Duncan over him, and Kyle Duncan is not that good right now. He's also coming off an injury. Yeah, if he doesn't play another minute, cool with it. Johnny Cardoso, have a good one. Have a bad one. I don't care. You're going to. I don't care how much Atletico Madrid is going to pay for you. I'm going to give you extra money to keep him away from the national team. Dude can't do it. He puts on the shirt and he has the number 9 curse as a 6.
He's
Anytime
got
he
the
puts
Josh Sargent curse is what he's
yeah,
got.
dude just cannot perform with the national team, and I don't even know if it's an arrogance thing, but look at the goal that came off of his nonchalant passing. He's dribbling square across his 18-yard box, and instead of laying it off to the goalkeeper or playing it, a safer pass, he tries an outside of the boot flick to split 2 pressing players to get to a left back. Like that's, I mean, that's basic stuff. You don't have it in your locker, son. Sorry, you're done. If you're talking about who I'm thinking is going to take that, Aiden Morris can take that backup 6 role, right? There are a couple other players. I mean, I don't know where James Sands is in his recovery. James Sands probably is in the conversation for that role. There are tons of other people for that backup 6 role. It's not Johnny, right? And until he can prove it, and again, this is the USMNT thing. Like, oh, it's just the Gold Cup. Anybody can win the Gold Cup. Whenever you show the MLS team that Greg won with, like, oh yeah, well it's just the Gold Cup. Well, here we are prepping for the Gold Cup, and if he doesn't show out and play, he's out. Sorry. I know these are tougher than Gold Cup opponents, but I mean, these are the ones we're playing in the World Cup. If you can't do it here, you can't do it anywhere. Walker Zimmerman coming off that concussion, another player who got brought in as a replacement, who I'm not so sure is here yet. I think he's fallen down the pecking order. The only thing that keeps him involved is the fact that the center back pool is so bad that he might make it as like center back four. Sebastian Berhalter, okay, not great, right? Especially in possession. I think he was pretty poor in possession. against Switzerland. I don't know if I trust him as Adams' backup, but right now I don't trust anybody there. So Tyler Adams, don't get hurt. Quinn Sullivan, underwhelming. Might be a bit too early for him. I think he was good, but not impactful enough to earn a World Cup spot. And then both Brian White and Patrick Odjiman, two sides of the same coin, both ineffective in hold up play the majority of the time, lack the killer instinct or ability to create much. I don't think any of them have earned a spot yet. That nine role continues to be an issue for this team, and we have yet to find an answer for it, which is worrying. I hope we get to see Damian Downs because we're running out of options.